Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Techbit Solutions. A quick little update for you guys. What is causing Pinterest stock to drop? So this thing has dropped a little bit over 12% on the day. I made a video last week sharing my stock portfolio, and I had $100,000 in Pinterest stock. And I want to show you this. Pinterest, a couple days after, I had Pinterest, for about a month and a half. A couple days after, there was a news release that Pinterest was potentially going to get acquired by PayPal. That made the stock shoot up. I made a quick video on it, and I reminded everyone that our goal was to sell Pinterest at around this general price point. So that is when I began to really load off on Pinterest and lock in profits. I completely sold Pinterest before it even broke below $60 a share. So I did very well, right? Being able to load up on it on the low 50s and sell at the low to mid 60s. I made a little bit over, I think, 12 or 13% ROI on that trade. I was very happy. One of the things that I shared in that video is, please understand what is going on. PayPal announced that they are potentially going to acquire Pinterest for $45 billion. This is speculation, and that speculation acted as a positive catalyst. But there's a lot of times, and again, that you live and you learn. And the reason I was so eager to sell my position is that we already reaped the benefit of that speculation. Now, if it doesn't go according to plan, Pinterest will pull back, meaning that if this acquisition from PayPal to Pinterest does not play out, then guess what? Pinterest will then dramatically and aggressively drop. And that's exactly what we experienced today. This is why now I'm talking about it. I love talking about cheap and oversold stocks. I made a video about Snapchat last week when it reported earnings and it dropped, and it created, right, this dip buy opportunity for those that see value in it. When it comes down to looking at this on the day chart, I view it to be, very oversold. It was previously bullish. It doesn't mean that Snapchat has to recover right away, but it means that, it's at a decent price based off of previous patterns. And now looking at Pinterest on the day chart, Pinterest isn't as bullish as Snapchat was. So this one would even encourage you to maybe be a little bit more selective. So now the question everyone has is Pinterest a good buy right now? All I know is that I'm very thankful I locked in profits on Pinterest, and now I'm very thankful because I locked in profits that now I can buy the dip if I want to. Now, does this mean that I should go back in right away with $100,000? Well, no, right? Pinterest can continue to drop, and today is the first day that we've experienced it aggressively pull back after it, pulled on back and getting rejected by the moving average. We see that it's testing the same support level, but guess what? Pinterest can get cheaper. So if you do decide to buy the dip, this is how I would do it. What I'm looking at right now for Pinterest is the reason I still find it attractive, right, is opportunity cost. What do I see as the upside versus the downside? Well, based off of previous highs, I see about a 50 to 60% ROI if Pinterest recovers to just $80 a share, which is where it was previously trading at before. But again, it doesn't ever have to get back to that price point. But that's my potential, my goal of the ROI, 50 to 60%. That's, in my opinion, very attractive. But what is my downside? Well, right now, Pinterest isn't necessarily indicating signs of an uptrend, right? So I have to be very selective with my position size. So I need to understand that if I do decide to take a position, to focus on two things. First, my position size. If I trade with $1,000, I need to make sure that I don't go in with $1,000 right now. Maybe going in with $100 or $200, a fraction of what I normally trade with the idea that if it continues to drop, I'm only in with a fraction of what I normally trade with, so it wouldn't really surprise me if it continues to pull on back, right? I can at least tolerate that pullback. The second thing is my intention on the time frame. When do I see Pinterest actually recovering? Do I think it's going to recover in a day, in a week, in a month, or right now, we don't know, right? Because there's no actual indication of a recovery. So making sure that you have the time frame in place as well as the position size can at least make it a little bit easier. It's still not going to be easy, but a little bit easier for you to be able to overcome the challenges as Pinterest slowly begins to recover. If you are someone that just sucks at risk management or someone that just sucks at buying the dip because it continues to sell off, then guess what? You don't have to be insecure about that. Who cares, right? Like, you're just getting started. I'm joking around when I say that you suck. It's just like, the goal isn't that you're going to be perfect right away, right? But it's okay. It's okay that you're able to pick up that maybe you're not the best at buying the dip. Maybe you're not the best at cutting losses, right? So maybe that should only encourage you to be a little bit more selective with when you decide to buy a stock, right? So instead of blindly buying it when it aggressively sells off, maybe actually waiting for indication of a recovery, which is why we're going to set this alert. If this thing begins to indicate signs of an uptrend pattern, we have it in our watch list and we can set effective alerts. So as it begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, then you can then decide when it makes sense to buy more. That's simple. So I like Pinterest because of how oversold it is. I like Pinterest because of what just happened in the deals that it presents. And I like Pinterest because of the ROI we see for the potential recovery. But at the end of the day, with no proper intention of a recovery, at least not now, it wouldn't really make too much sense to buy it right now. So those are my thoughts on Pinterest. I love the deal. I love the opportunity. We just don't have true direction in our favor, which should only encourage you to be that much more selective. But I hope that I earned your thumbs up in this video. If you guys like Pinterest or if you guys plan to trade it, what is it that you need Pinterest to do to meet your criteria? Make sure you comment that down below. Also, I'd love to invite you to tomorrow's live trading session. All you have to do is in the description is my Instagram. Just message me live trading that you want to tune on into tomorrow's live trading. And I would love for you to join us tomorrow at Market Open. Until then, I hope that you guys can I hope that you guys can consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.